I'm the world's leading real estate trainer today, and I teach people how to buy and sell houses without using their money or credit all over North America. And because I personally teach my events, I hear the same things over and over everywhere I go, no matter what city I'm in. People are hating more and more of what they do. I'm not in control of my life, and I have to work 70 hours a week, whether I like it or not. To take your life back and build your own business is really what we are here to do.
When it comes to Ron LeGrand, there's nobody else that has had more of an impact on our real estate investing business. Ron himself has invested in more than 3,000 single-family homes himself. So he knows what he's doing. He's been through all the failures and the mistakes to teach us and other students.
Our folks come in, they start wherever they like. I like to teach people how to be a transaction engineer. There's all kinds of ways to make money in real estate. And if you only see one way, then you're walking through the business with blinders on and usually walking over the dollars to get to the dimes. Real estate is a vehicle to generate cash, not to bury cash.
It's amazing, just 2 years ago when I was working a day job at a restaurant and quitting that to go do the real estate full time, I've made more money in one transaction than I ever made in 1 year working at a restaurant.
My goal is to get people out of a job and into freedom by taking control of their own financial destiny. It's all about freeing up your time so you can enjoy life.
Because of Ron LeGrand, we were able to triple our income and go from 6 figures a year to 7 figures a year within that first year of meeting Ron.
The common objection, I don't have time, I don't have money, it's not for me. Ron's had 18-year-old kids go through this program, make $30,000. It works for anybody.
We have a community, and that's what it is. It's a community. It's a great big family. So we're not going to run you in a seminar and love you and leave you in the morning. We're going to be there when you get out of the seminar, and we expect this relationship to keep going for a lot of years into the future. Once you enter Planet Ron, as I call it, you're in it for life.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. We are going to spend a lot of time the next 3 days, in fact, a couple hours a day, talking about the system to buy and sell houses with that'll change your business forever and make it very inexpensive to operate, and all the other things that it'll do for you. It's called Dreams Pro .ai. And I have with me, you want to put him up there, John, Adel January, who is my partner in real estate as well as an acquisitionist. And this is about the end of our second year, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he is very familiar with this program. He uses it every single day. He helps students use it as well. And he's the one that's going to be the demonstrating, largely because he's qualified and I'm not. Secondly, because I barely have a voice today, and I'm glad he's here to take up the slack. Okay. So let me get through the punch list first. I'm going to introduce my other team in the other room. Nick, will you put it on yourself and John over there? Let me see who's behind the scenes today. When you walk into the room they're in, it looks like you're going backstage in a concert or something. John, you there? Maybe not.
Yeah, they're waving in there. I think
Okay,
they
well,
there they are.
We're here. There we go.
Mine, too late. All right, first of all, a few things. One, I know you got a cell phone sitting right by you. Please turn the sound off and turn it over so it doesn't light up or vibrate or do anything to disturb you during this period of time, because I'm going to need your 100% complete focus to comprehend this stuff. And trust me, it's worth your while to do it. This thing is going to change your real estate path. Secondly, the agenda, in fact, I'm going to read to you basically what the agenda is. I'm not going to go through it word for word. We're planning to be done by 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. But you know what they say about plans. We've never done this before, have we?
We have not.
All right, so
We'll see.
we're just winging it as we go. We're going to cover all kinds of stuff. In fact, I got a better idea. Why don't you put, I got another sheet here somewhere.
The components.
Oh, yeah. Put that up there. Switch to the overhead. There you go. Line it up for them. Probably gonna have to move the light up. Can't move it up any higher, can you?
No,
All right.
I think that's everything in there.
Now, I know you got a phone there. I don't have any problem at all with you actually recording anything we say or taking screenshots of this, and you're going to want to take screenshots. That's for sure. So I can't hardly read that list. Can you blow that top half up a little bit, John? This system called Dreams Pro will now not only generate the leads for you from sellers, but it'll do the mailing. It does everything on that sheet right there for you. And that's just the Dreams Pro part of what we're going to talk about. So now the VAs will call your sellers for you and fill out the PI sheet after they generate the leads if you want them to. Now, one of the first things Adel's going to teach you today is how to generate your own leads on this system. And I'm telling you, you're going to be impressed with that alone, because no more renting list, no more guesswork. We're only going to deal with qualified prospects, and you'll see what we're talking about. And it should excite the heck out of you if you intend to buy real estate. Let me, is that up on their screen yet at home, John, or not? It is? Well, let me.
Yeah, they're looking at the same thing you are.
Because I can't read it.
Uh-huh.
All right. Put it on Adel's face. So we're gonna do everything on this list right here. So we'll put it back up and maybe take a photo shot of it. How to pull mailing lists. That in itself could literally take us a whole day to train you. But we're going to give you the gist of it. And in a minute, I'm also going to tell you how to get into the Dreams Pro, because I know most of you watching there do not have it set up yet. So we're going to do that early so you can actually get it set up, and literally they can email you the whole program as soon as you get it set up. Maybe you can follow it on your own website. I mean, on your own computer. We're talking about doing it because we're actually going to go live on the system while we're teaching you on it. This thing will do the mailing for you, and it in fact has the pieces that you just plug in your phone number on, or you can put your pieces in there and they'll mail it for you. Believe me when I tell you, their cost to do the mailing for you is cheaper than your cost of the postage stamp. It's all done for you. The whole point here is all done for you. Your system will skip trace leads. For those of you who don't know what that means, it means that it'll load the leads that you pull. It'll put them in the skip tracing system, and it'll take out all the dead, all the bad addresses, and all add phone numbers to it, and make it a really, really quality lead for you to follow up on it. In fact, they're not going to probably call them until they're skip traced, because that saves a lot of wasted calls. You're going to learn how to get the real ARV, the after repaired value, by using comps. They're right on the system. We're going to go there, I think probably tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
And show you how to get the real comps, because truthfully, a lot of investors are dealing with faulty information because they don't know how to get to the real comps, and they're just taking the Zestimate off of Zillow and assuming that's the market value. Do not do that. That has nothing to do with the market value. And we're going to show you how big of difference there are in some properties between the Zestimate and the actual ARV that you get from the comps, not just getting from whatever somebody put on a website that you can't trust. They're all right there in front of you as well. And there's a cool thing, that's a rehab calculator. You want to rehab houses? You just go out and make a list of what you're going to fix, come back, put the list in the system, and it'll tell you what it's going to cost to fix it. I'm going to tell you at first, I didn't trust that thing. I was very skeptical about it. But then we played with it a couple of times, and I'm surprised how accurate it is. Done for you now. Just plug in what you're going to fix. Automatic follow-up system, which might be the most important part of the whole thing. This thing will do all the follow-up for you. And Adel here will tell you that most of your deals are going to come from the follow-up, not from the first contact with your seller, which is true in any business. Most of your sales will come after the fifth to seventh contact with your prospect. Same here. Follow-up is going to be automatic for you. You don't even have to remember what to do when. You're going to set the system up. It's going to do it for you. Follow-up meaning emails telling you when to call back and whatever. Task reminder, tasks that aren't part of the follow-up, things that you need to do from day to day to your business. You just set it and forget it, and it'll pop up that day and tell you, well, what we got to do today. And it won't come off there till you either do it or erase it, which I know is a big, big part of time management. There's a way with memory. It's got a whole system to sell properties with. Tell them about that, Adel. Once they get a contract on a house, what do they do with it?
Yeah, once you get a contract, you can post your deal on the actual Dream site, and anybody who is using Dreams all over the country will see your deal. So when they search, well, it pops up when they search your area. So I'm looking for houses in Jacksonville. Our house will pop up. You can also pull a list of cash buyers. So you have a deal you're looking to sell in a particular area. You can pull any cash buyer that's bought a house in that particular area in the last 6 months, a year, whatever, and give them a call and say, hey, got another deal for you if you're interested, type of conversations.
Okay. All right. And questions. Nick, tell them how to handle questions.
Sure, Ron. If you have questions for Ron or Adel, just cite them in the comments section. If you could put the letter Q out in front of the question, though, so that it makes it easier for me and John here to separate them out from the other chat messages and comments that are in there. Put the letter Q out in front of it. Also, include your city and state, because that might affect your the answer to your question, especially if it's real estate related. Lastly, keep in mind that the questions might not be read immediately when you ask them. So before you submit the question, just kind of read it back to yourself. Make sure that it's worded in a way that's going to make sense later when it's read kind of out of context there.
Yeah, make sure that we can understand what your question is. Ask yourself, if I was on the other side, would I know what I'm talking about? Because a lot of the times we have to go back to you and say, listen, we don't understand what your question really is. And just read it yourself and you'll get what I'm talking about. And try to keep your question to stuff that we have covered, not stuff that we may be covering and duplicate. I'm going to allow you to put these questions up there, and we're going to try to take them as we go. Maybe at the end of every subject, we can stop, take a few questions. And if it's out of hand and we don't feel like we can get the subject covered, then I'm going to tell you to hold on and we'll answer them for you at the end. Now, we will stay here till all your questions are answered, but we're going to try to be done by 3 o'clock all 3 days in a row. Before we go any further, put the overhead up there, John. Most of you do not have our Dreams Pro system because it's brand spanking new. And I'm going to tell you what it's about right now. Then you can make a decision if you want to get in there right now and actually have the information sent to you immediately today to put it up on your own laptop and actually play with it while we're playing with it. Because we're actually going to go on there and do all kinds of things on there. And the more you have in front of you, the more you're going to retain it. I'm going to have to do the same thing. Do they have this sheet yet, Nick?
No, but we can, we're having it put onto a file for them so that we can send it to them and they can download. We'll put it in the comments here.
All right. Well, let's start with the $99 column there. It's $99 a month. And it includes the Gold Club in itself is worth more than $99 a month. Many of you are Gold Club members, but you haven't upgraded to Dreams Pro yet. The Gold Club is our membership site. It's got so much stuff on it. It's got all my forms and agreements. It's got all of the questions that we get every week. We put them up. There's thousands of questions on there that we put up. And it's also got a forum where you can communicate with other people. And it's got a whole training session. There's I don't know how many hundreds of training modules there are on there concerning about any subject that you can think about. It's got all kinds of benefits that are too numerous for me to talk to you about right now, but that's part of the $99 a month program. And you're also going to get this Dreams Pro system and its light version at $99. And as we go through that, you'll see how important that is to you. And you're going to get 8 different lead types. Lead types meaning what do we think would motivate sellers? I don't know. Name some: vacant houses, vacant uptown,
Foreclosure, probates,
high equity, low equity. Which, by the way, we've gotten a couple of houses off of the low equity.
low equity expired listing. Yeah.
Think about that. Let's tell them about the one you just got under contract. It's a
Yeah. It's a 2022 build. He actually came from a postcard. He called on Christmas Day, actually. So I took the call. I figured someone calling on Christmas Day is pretty motivated. And brand new build. He moved in there last year, and I still don't know why he's moving. I still to this day don't know why, but I didn't really care. He said he'd sell for what he owed. Because I asked him that question because there was a gap of that less than 35,000 in between the ARV and what he owed. And I asked him, so would you just sell for what you owe? There was a 20, 30-second pause, an uncomfortable pause. And he said, yeah, I could do that. I said, okay, well, when are you going to come over? And basically it was the conversation. So we went over there the next day and got it.
He owed 240 and it's worth about maybe 250.
Yeah.
On the other hand, we're going to just take over the loan, and we're going to raise the price up probably 20 grand or so to get a non-refundable deposit, which I usually do anyway. And then the rest of it is all the other benefits you get from real estate: the appreciation, the depreciation, the debt pay down. The next tenant buyer will go put up a deposit because most of them don't buy. And all those benefits that really create wealth, both inside and outside of your IRA. So I'm keeping the house just to have the house because I've experienced what happens to them after you hold on to them for a few years. So it's not a killer deal, but it's a free deal.
Yep.
It's a brand new house, and that came from the postcard. You know which postcard it came from?
Yes, sir. I can show them when we pull up the mail stuff here.
All right.
I'll give the exact list and postcard.
Okay. All right. You also get the direct mail engine. In other words, now you pick a list and then you pick what you want to mail to them and punch a button and they do the mailing for you. And you can do a sequential mailing of 6 pieces, 6 different pieces timed over a period of time. And once you set it up, it's going to do all that. And in other words, you are following up properly of set it and forget it. So it's going to have skip tracing. Skip tracing is built into it. And let's see, Gold Club, and there's so much stuff here built into it. Driving for Dollars app. What is that, Adel?
It's an app where as you're driving around any area or neighborhood you want to work in, you see houses that are vacant, or maybe they look a little run down, you'll be able to enter that address into the app and it'll save it into your account. So when you get back to your computer, you have a list of hopefully 10, 15 properties that when you were driving around trying to find, again, ugly houses, basically ugly vacant houses or ugly houses in general.
And you also have the ability to hire VAs, our VAs at that point. And our VAs are what's going to make all this work for you. They're going to do all the work. Our VAs are the ones that are going to generate leads for you. In other words, they'll pull a list for you once you have a conversation and what you want. Then they'll make the call and get the property information sheet filled out for you. And then all you got to do is decide if you're going to call the seller or not, and use my very quick script. And they're either in or they're out. I mean, just like he did on that house. We put in there intentionally low equity because I know that a lot of people want to move literally 1 year, 2 years, 3 years after we bought the property, after they bought the property, and they're easy to take over the debt on, and they're mostly really nice houses in nice areas. And build a little fortune by doing just that, just targeting that one list. Now that's the $99 package. And then there's a second package. It's $297 a month, but it includes the entire Dreams Pro system. And if you're looking at this sheet, it'll also do the email broadcast for you. You're going to get a website set up for you for buying and selling, and monitored for you for measly $297 a month. And your VAs will even do all of that for you. And it also says on here, well, it'll build your one-click property sales pages. That's the page where you put the photos on and all the description of the property. That's the page you drive traffic to look at the house before they go out to see the house. Very important when you're selling houses. And then you get one AI zip code. I don't even want to tell you what that is because it's going to confuse you. So we are working on building that package even better. I'll let you know about it as it comes. But right now, that's a very inexpensive price to basically run your business for you. You've got all the tools right there to run them. To put an X through the 697 package, we don't offer that anymore. We're going to come out shortly with a much better package than that. But right now, I would suggest it. If you are really going to get into the real estate business, you start with a 297 package, and then you got all the tools. You got the website, and you got the full Dreams Pro system, and so forth. Make sure they get that, Nick, because I know I went pretty fast with that. All right. We are ready to get right into wherever you want to start at along this thing. What are we going to start with?
Okay, let's pull this up here, John. All right, should be everyone's opening screen here. It's not working. Here we go. All right, so you want to type in, we're going to start here. What area you're looking to market in, whatever city, zip code, county. I usually recommend going county or city, one of the two. I usually just start with Jacksonville here. And depending on how big of a city you are, obviously there'll be more or less properties depending on that.
I want to tell everybody that the two biggest components that you have to master to make money in real estate is generating leads, which we're about to do, and then handling the closing call, which the VAs do most of that for you. Your call is going to last about 3 or 4 minutes. That's what Adel does now in my business.
Yep.
In fact, Adel does everything in my business from beginning to end. And that's why he gets the big bucks. No argument on that at all.
No argument. I'm having a good time with you.
He's also one of our mentors now. Does a great job.
Yeah, thank you. Well, okay, so we pulled up this property. You'll see these ones in the blue. As I mentioned before, these are the deals people are trying to sell. All these ones in the blue. So these are wholesale deals in your area that people are looking to sell. So if you're looking for a rehab or something, you can always reach out here. This is actually ours right here on Tina Lane, the first one here. So, but we'll get to that.
How do you know all these people want a wholesaler house?
The ones in the blue, if you can see that it's these are highlighted in blue, and then down here.
Put in to get this list pull up.
Oh, anytime you, whatever city or county or search an area, they're going to pull up every deal in that area that's been posted to the platform here.
Okay, but you don't know they're junkers.
I don't know. Yeah, you'd have to contact them and find out.
All right, but we're going to weed them down here to where there ain't going to be many to contact, aren't we?
Well, the ones in the blue are the ones that are posting their own deals. They're under contract and they're trying to wholesale them. We're looking for buyers here on. That's why I was saying these blue ones are looking for buyers right now. So when you get a deal, that's why you can post it on the.
Go back to my question. What did you put in to pull this list of blue ones?
Just put in the city that you're searching for, and every house that's on the platform in that city will pull up. Like in that area, whatever wholesale deal people are trying to sell in that area will just automatically pull up.
Distinguish wholesale from retail ready to go properties?
They don't have retail ready to go here. This is strictly just the blue ones or just wholesale properties here.
Does that mean they all need work?
It could be. I mean, they're trying to wholesale them. I mean, their addresses are here for them. You can look them up in the address.
That's actually even better.
Yeah.
All right. So that's how many we got. How many is that?
1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5, 6 deals right now posted in Jacksonville and around Jacksonville area that are currently looking for buyers.
I don't understand. You just told me all the blue ones were wholesale deals.
These are under contract, but some wholesaler got under contract in Jacksonville who's using this platform. He posts the deal looking for a buyer on this platform, and they pop up whenever you search in Jacksonville.
All right. Oh, I got it. These are the people who put their house for sale on here. That's
just like ours here. Our Tina Lane's on here, so we're looking for a buyer. So we posted, yeah, and everybody else here did too.
Part I missed.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Button is hide.
Okay, so sorry, that was that. But so when you pull up Jacksonville, you got 306,000 properties here. Obviously, that's a humongous list to tackle. So how do we decipher which ones are motivated and which ones are not? And I do want to make a point here that, because some people get confused, the addresses we're going to pull don't have signs in front of the yard. These aren't people who have for sale by owner signs. These are people who are in a situation based off of the things I want to show you that may need to sell. They may not even want to sell, but they may need to sell. So just keep that in mind. So like here, we have a list of parameters that we can pick from. You got absentee, active listing, foreclosures, pre-foreclosure, zombie properties. Anytime you don't know what one of these means, just click on this little question mark and it'll tell you these property are in pre-foreclosure process and also vacant. All
It's a
right.
zombie.
That's a zombie. Board investor to give you,
So that's a good target.
yeah, absentee owner who have owned the subject property for a long period of time. So those are just some parameters. But what I like to do, honestly, before I even pick what pain point, I kind of like to go in here and build my avatar, my house avatar. What are we looking for specifically?
Minimum bedrooms, minimum bathrooms.
Correct,
minimum
yeah.
footage.
So I know we're not going to, for the sake of this, we're not going to do multifamily or apartments or other or condos. I usually leave single and townhouse, single family and townhomes there. So as we go through, I know that 1,000+ square feet, I always approach it from the exit. What's going to be the easiest to sell when I do get a deal? Houses over 1,000 square feet are way easier to sell than under. Houses that have at least 3 bedrooms are way easier to sell than under. Owner type, I know dealing with people who own the property in their name, not LLCs, not trusts, not in estates, are easier to find and easier to work with in my experience. So
Got to put in 1 bath too.
that would just give you all baths there. Can be the 3 and all.
Okay.
And so continue down here. You got some active listings here. If you wanted to look, if you were maybe an agent or if you were looking for expireds, pendings, things like that. Because if you're an agent, you can use this too to find listings as well. It's not just investor. Previous sale date and foreclosure information. So right now we're looking for individual owned, single family or townhomes that have at least 1,000 square feet and at least 3 bedrooms. That narrowed the list down probably from 300,000 to 200,000. So still pretty big a list.
While you're on here and you get calls from people that have a good house in a good area and they don't want to sell it on terms or low enough cash price, that's a lead you can sell to a realtor. If you ask them, what are you going to do? Are you going to list your house? And if that's the case, you can get $100 for that lead, whether you know it or not, folks. $100. And you know, they know they're going to sell their house. It's a very qualified lead. I just have to find a couple of realtors that are willing to pay that. And trust me, anybody who's been in business very long, selling very many houses, are paying for their leads. They're not getting them for free.
Yep.
And you've already asked them, are you going to be listing it soon? That's all you need. That's a $100 bill right there. This whole program, $297 a month. You only need 3 of those a month. You pay for the program. In fact, I've seen people actually get into the lead business and looking for real estate as a side play.
Yeah. That's a great point. You know, every lead that you get, you got to try and figure out how you can make money. If they're not open for the cash, they don't want to take the payments, then the next option would be to try and make money from giving that to an agent.
That's assuming you're not a realtor. Then you get out there and list.
Correct. Okay, so we got these parameters, and I also like to point out the property valuation. So if you're looking for a rehab or a junker, or again, what's the easiest house to sell? I want to be at the median home price of whatever city you're in or under that. For junker wholesale. If you're looking for terms, I wouldn't worry about that, but just in general, easier to sell if they're around that median home price. And here in Jacksonville, I think it's around 300.
Just under 300.
Yeah, so we'll just put 300,000. So by doing this, I want everything on this list, every house I want to be 300,000 or below.
I can disagree with that a little. That means the ARB is 300,000. After repaired value, you're looking for houses that are not repaired. So I would put in there about, I don't know, more than 75% of the ARB.
Okay.
Because we know we got to buy way down here.
Yeah.
And repair it and so forth. And 75% of the ARB is going to get you a lot of them that aren't even worth chasing. So got to lower that. You can't put in 300 or you're going to get a lot of houses that are retail, ready to sell to owner occupants.
Okay.
Well,
Right? No, not really. I mean, these are just houses that are worth 300 or below. It could be good condition, bad condition. It could be any house that's
system won't pick up what it's worth if it needs repairs. It's only going to pick up the ARB.
Yeah, correct.
Get off public. Right?
Yeah.
By the way, this is AI talking here, guys. They got information on every house in America in seconds. And so this is AI built. So we don't even know how to get some formulas, but anyway, I made my point.
Okay.
Incidentally, there's no law that says that he and I have to agree on it.
That is true.
Just remember,
Okay, well, we'll keep it 300. That's usually how I do it. So I'll just keep it that way.
I lose that argument.
So now that drastically reduced our property count to 79,800. So we got a good chunk of it weeded out there. So now I kind of have my avatar, my buy box avatar, right? Mm-hmm. Minimum 1,000, 3 bedroom, 300,000 or below, owned by an individual. So I have this. So now I go in and add those pain points now. So let's go ahead and start with, let's do vacant properties here. So I want to do the vacancy. That will drastically lower that to about 1,577 properties.
That's great.
So that's a good start there. So remember, the more filters you put in, the smaller the list will be. So if you're in a very small area, doesn't have very many, if you pulled up your city and you only got 15,000 properties instead of 300,000, you might not be able to do all these filters like I'm doing. So you just have to make those adjustments based on what market you're in. So 1577 is still a pretty good list to tackle. And that's when I would go in here, maybe throw in those bathrooms, maybe put a minimum 2 bathroom there. So all I'm going to get is 3 2s over 1,000 square feet. That knock it down to 821 people.
All right, let's knock it down one more.
Knock it down one more. Let's see, what can we do?
Go up the list.
Oh yeah, okay. So you want to stack it with something else. So vacant.
That's what, by the way, stacking means you're using more than one of these lists.
Yeah.
So I think zombie means it's vacant, doesn't it?
Vacant pre-foreclosure would be a zombie property.
All right, put that in just for the heck of it.
18 properties there.
18. Boy,
18.
But is that a quality 18, guys and gals?
That's a strong
That
list.
18 is worth doing whatever you need to do to get their attention and whatever you need to do to get them on the phone.
Yep.
But that, you need more than that to run a business. So incidentally, you're going to pull several different types of lists, because here's the important part that we haven't mentioned yet.
Yeah.
If you mail to that particular type of list, when you're through putting in the parameters, make sure you press save. When you press save, every property that goes into those categories from that point on is going to come to you automatically.
Yep.
You'll be building your own list of sellers calling you without even doing the mailing.
Yep. So say you were good with this list and you wanted to continue getting the similar leads, the zombie properties and all these filters to your email. Because remember, these factors change. Yeah, this pre-foreclosure, vacant, all of these change month to month as the system updates its data. So next month, the house that's not on this list yet could be February 1st, might turn into a zombie property. And then you're going to get that email that says, hey, you got 1 or 2 properties or 10 properties that fit your search criteria. Here they are. And then that's your job from there to take it and mail them and call them or do whatever you want to do to them.
And by the way, I didn't tell you, some of you we've already lost. Your VA will do all of the crap for you. So don't worry about having to learn all this junk. They'll draw that blue line out there for you.
Well, I think the VAs, you do got to give them some criteria.
Of
I don't
course.
think they'll just pull the list for you randomly,
Like
but
where you
yeah.
want to buy houses at, be one of them.
Yeah.
With your blue line.
Yeah. And okay, so what Ron was talking about here. So say we're happy with this list and I want to continue getting these properties to my email every day. So I go here, I'm going to create a deal alert here. Deal alert. I'm going to save it under, zombie jacks or whatever you want to name it under there. And then you're going to click save. So when you hit save, it's going to save your list for you and continue to give you those emails on a weekly basis. So the reason I like to build the house first, the house avatar, because now I don't have to rebuild anything. All I have to do now is take off that zombie property filter and just add another one. Because all my stuff's changed, stayed the same. So I'm going to add another one. So maybe I wanted to do, like I just did, a low equity expired listing one.
Guys, I wouldn't even do the expired listing one.
Okay.
I'd just do a low equity to start with. Why don't we do that?
Okay. That nailed
See
it
how many there
down.
are.
4821, 4,821.
Now, listen, you have to understand the terms business to do the low equity, because you're not going to be stealing houses because they owe more on them than you'd ever pay for cash. So these are strictly targeted terms deals in any neighborhood. And by the way, on a terms deal, just for kicks and grins, I'd want to go from the medium up.
Up, yes, sir. Yeah, I always do a minimum of 250 on the terms, or 225. I think I did 225 and up on the terms.
Depends on where you live, of course.
Yeah.
Some of you live in an area that won't buy a crack house.
Here in Jacksonville, yeah, 225 is a pretty decent house. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, but when I'm doing terms deals, I want to buy higher priced houses.
Correct. Yeah.
And, after you learn how to eliminate the risk on doing that, just like the one we just talked about, I'm taking over how big is the debt? 240.
241,
Okay?
yes, sir.
We bought one a few weeks ago where I'm taking over a debt, where I'm creating a debt back to the seller of 440 with nothing down. Both of these are nothing down, incidentally. Nothing down. Yes, it truly does work.
Yep.
So I would want to buy the nicer houses. For example, I'm selling that house for $530,000, minimum $50,000 down. I gave the seller zero. I did pay some closing costs. That's $50,000 upfront profit without having to rehab the house. better come see me if you don't understand the terms business, because that's where the real wealth is. All right, I'm gonna shut up
All
there.
right, no problem.
It's 3:00 yet?
Oh, we could put that low equity. And I thought about just doing low equity before, but I always, again, think about, does low equity mean that they're motivated to sell? What factor in your list makes them motivated to sell? So,
Well, maybe vacant, but that's gonna kill your list. I mean,
correct. That's why I went with the expired. That was the only point I could think
Expired.
that would say low equity
Well,
and
let's
it's
try it.
expired. That gave them some
good
motivation.
idea. How
Yeah.
many we got?
So we're going to go down to the listing and just pick expired there. So, and I went ahead and changed that market value to 250 and up. So $250,000 and up is a property value now with a low equity expired listing with all those filters we put for the house, gave us a 209 properties.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's 209 postcards. I know you're getting to it, but what's a postcard cost them?
59 cents
Drop-
for the
that's
6x9.
everything.
Yep.
Everything.
All
And
in.
you're not paying for the list. The list usually costs you 10 cents to $1.50.
Yep.
Per name.
And you don't even have, if you're just doing mail, you don't even have to spend money on the skip trace. It'll just mail them to their mailing address. That's on
Really?
public record. Yeah, you don't have to skip trace if you're just going to do mail.
You're not pulling out the bad addresses.
The system will do that for you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it'll automatically take out any addresses. When you do the mail, I'll show you here when we get to the mail part. It'll have like 9 or 10 invalid addresses sometimes, or duplicates or whatever.
Okay.
So here we got the 209, and this is actually the exact list I mailed to get the one we did. So
Really?
yeah, I already mailed this one. So again, I'm going to go back there. I have my list. I'm going to create a deal alert because I like this list. So I want to make sure I continue to get these lists. And since we're speaking expired, I know, Ron, we get those leads from Barbara for the junker houses that come to our email every day. And I actually set up a separate search that comes only to my email with expired listings directly from the MLS. So I'm getting all expired listings from the MLS from Barbara on top of any of these low equity stuff in here. And I'm just kind of,
Well, that's pretty cool. How do you know they haven't relisted?
I usually check them before adding to the list. There's only a handful a day just to run through Zillow and see if they're off market or they're closed or whatever.
Cheaper just to mail.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Honestly. What have they moved? Does it pick that up?
It'll be an absentee. If they've changed addresses, it'll show absentee owner there.
Okay, doesn't matter. Might get forwarded to them wherever they're.
Yeah. I just whatever things on file I
Yes.
get. And
There's something about direct mail, folks. I can email you and you're just going to press delete. When I mail you and you have interest, you can't help but see in the piece. Okay. Postcard, you don't even have to open an envelope. So mail stays with them for a long time. Some people just hold on until you call. In fact, you did one in last November. You talked to the seller and they weren't ready. They were waiting on maybe another buyer. And in April, we bought their house. Right?
yeah, got the letter in November. He was waiting for the probate to finish. He didn't want to call until it was complete, but he got the postcard in November and called in March or something. Yeah.
Value of follow-up.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah, again, you're going to create that deal alert for this particular search. So you want to continue getting that. Again, label it Jacksonville, low equity, expired listing or whatever. So, and as you can see these numbers, I don't want to get too much into these numbers, but it's always makes me feel a little bit better when these numbers are higher. It's like on my list, this one's a 630 retail. This is a 535 retail, 568 rental. So these are good numbers. You want to see a 500 and above on whatever category you're looking at. Again,
On term deals.
yeah, or wholesale if it says above on wholesale, whatever list you're doing on that. Again, I don't really know how accurate these numbers are, but it does make me feel better when I do see the higher ones on there. So take it for what it's worth on that.
Hey, Adel, we're getting a bunch of questions. People are at the 99 level and they're not seeing some of these options. Can we explain that to them?
Okay, yeah. So you are correct. You probably or you won't have all of these factors whenever you're on that $99 level.
Should have 8 of them.
You have I think you got the absentee. I think you have active listings, tax delinquent. So you'll just have to make your list on what you have here, right? So if you didn't have the low equity portion of it, there's a workaround for that. You could go to, I don't know, the mortgage information here. Did they have the mortgage part, Nick, in the 99?
Yeah, they get all equity positions.
Okay.
In the 99 level.
So you may not have a low equity button, but then you can go to the mortgage information and change that. Maybe you want the loan to value to be higher, right? Or you want the, you can do, where's the other one here? You can do years of ownership, put maximum 2 years of ownership on there, right? That's another way to get around not having a low equity.
I'd make that 3.
3
So-
years, yeah.
So can we explain what is available at the $99 level versus the higher levels? What do they get? when
John,
go
do
to
they
the
have
higher
this sheet here with the 3 columns on it?
You shared that this morning, but if we could just kind of cover that real quick.
So if you go to the dreamspro.ai here and you go to get started, right?
Oh, he asked what's on the 297, it's not on the 99. Is that what I heard?
Yep, and
Yeah.
that's what he's showing right
Okay,
here.
down at the bottom, the answer is you can, at 297, you can do email broadcast, not at the 99. And you don't get a website until you hit the 297. You can buy VAs at the 99, but the 297 is going to be a better deal for you because you get the website. You do get the Dream system at the 99, but it's limited. The AI zip code, Nick, you might as well explain that. I don't care if they know that or not, 'cause I wouldn't use it, but
Yeah, I think we'll definitely use it, and I think Adel has it on his punch list to cover today, so I'll let Adel cover that when we get to that.
all right.
But the big thing here with what Adel's covering right now is you just get the 8 lead types. So what those are, I've got it pulled up. I'm logged in as a $99 user. You get absentee owners, you get active listings, you get cash buyers, delinquent tax activity. So anybody who has delinquent taxes, free and clear houses. So these are the 4 equity positions. So you can get free and clear, high equity, low equity, or upside down in their mortgage.
Plenty to do.
Yep.
Plenty to do.
And if you need those lists again, you can go to that dreamspro.ai, get started, hit the question mark, and it'll give you all the factors that come in each package there.
John, we didn't even give them a number to call to get up registered, did we? 800-567-6128, 800-567-6128. Call in and then they'll take time to explain it because they got this stuff in front of them as well.
I see Larry here. Dr. Larry, is the comp feature available in the $99 plan? Yes. Comp, mail, skip tracing is available in any package you have.
That comp series alone is worth more than you're paying for this whole system. It's going to
Yeah.
save you a ton of lost deals and keep you from buying deals that you shouldn't, because you really know the true R.
Yeah.
By the way, when I get a lead on my phone out of the MLS every day, I just send it to him. He pulls up the R and he does me a repair estimate from his desk. And then we decide whether it's worth going forward or not. Most of them are not. On the other hand, not much work in them as well. We buy 2 or 3 a year off the MLS, even though most of them are still overpriced.
Yep. Yeah. All these questions are revolving around the pain points. Again, you're going to have the 8 and just go to that website here and you can find them there, or which ones you're going to have. I am the 297 level, but I still only have 8 categories. Is that correct? Yes, Michael, that is correct.
You still only what?
297, he was asking about the categories. Does he still only get the 8 in the 297 level? And I said, yeah, that is
But
correct.
hold on, because the 697 is gone, but we're going to try to get some of those benefits over to you on the lower level. But right now you got more than you can do anyway with 8.
Yep. I think,
Because you got to do more than one mailing. You got to experiment. You got to figure out which one of those lists kind of performs the best for you. In other words, we already know the low equity list is pretty good to us. We already know that probate is pretty good to us.
Yep.
And I don't know, you.
pre-foreclosure is always, that's the main one people always go after. It's always a good one to mail to pretty consistently.
So in my opinion, just picture this in your head. Let's say I stacked 4 lists. All right. I'm not going to really know which of those 4 are producing the lead for me. If I only mail to 1 list at a time, then I know. So incidentally, how do you code your mail? You got to code your postcard, code your letter to the type of list that you pull. We doing that?
Yes, sir. Well, the system does it for you here in a sense. So if I were Let me get to this finish there, and I'll get to the mail here. Once I just want to finish this up really quick. So deal alerts. I just wanted to show you.
You saying shut up? Maybe wrong?
No, I'm not saying that at all. Here's what I did. That's why I want to make it just easier that way. I have 3 counties I'm working. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different lists for the 3 counties. So you don't have to come in here and recreate lists weekly or daily or whatever. Create 5 to 10 really solid lists that you feel good about. Set your deal alerts. I bulk mailed this big list, all 6 of these. It came out to about, I think, 700 or 800 pieces total between all of these lists. Mailed that first thing, and now I'm just keeping up with the mailings as they come in from the daily deal alerts every week. And that's ranging from anywhere from 25 to 75 properties a week that I'm just automating to mail postcards to, basically, off of these lists right here that I've set up.
Set them up once and keep
Once
doing
and done. Yep. And then when you find one that's working, like I did the expired, obviously, then I'm going to hammer that. I went to Flagler County. I went to every county around here I could think of. I got from Barbara. I did. So I'm working that list really hard because it seems to be, I got another call today at 3:30 with the guy who's low equity expired listing as well. So the list is working. So just keep hitting it.
They're really easy targets.
Yeah.
Sellers not getting any money. They're not asking for any money.
Yeah. They just really want out of the house payment. Really.
Yeah. And they don't even have enough equity to pay a realtor.
Correct. So they only got 3 options: bring money to closing, rent the house, or sell to me. Right? That's kind of the options they have.
Or realistic. Yeah.
Or realistic. Yeah. Yeah. So that's that. So anytime you have that, you can just set these deal alerts up. Again, 3 counties, tax delinquent vacant, 3 county, low equity expired, 3 county, potentially inherited, 3 county, I put all the liens that were on the platform.
Guys, if you got your phone handy, this would be a good one to take a picture of.
3 county zombie, we covered that one already.
Snap a screenshot.
And then I did the 3 county we talked about in the car, and I will take it. I did upside down here. I just wanted to try it out and see what came back from it. But that was the 6 ones that I did there. There. Okay. So after that, you said, well, I got the addresses, I got my list. What do I do from now? So the next thing, you're going to add all of these leads to, my leads here. Let's do that one more time.
I have another brain fart.
Sure.
Okay. I'm looking for terms deals.
Mm-hmm.
What year did the rates start going up quickly?
So 2022, 2021.
Okay. What if we go pull a list that dates back about, I don't know, maybe 3 years prior to that, where we can get some lower interest rates?
Definitely could do that.
What can we put between blank and blank dates?
Let's see. Mortgage information, loan maturity date.
Nah. That'll help me a
Mortgage interest, estimated loan balance, loan to value, mortgage interest rate, financing type, maturity date, open loans, loan type, and estimated loan balance.
Mortgage interest rate might do the trick.
Yeah, you can put a max of
Max of, I don't know,
6%,
maybe.
Okay. Yeah, definitely could do that.
There you go. That's a $1 million idea.
Yeah, I like that. Actually, that makes sense. You can do it whatever rate, and if you really want to target really low payments, and you can put 4, and you may not get as much, but hey, that's.
In fact, you can put that in there and not even call it a low equity.
Very true. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. And that's still yielding about 1,100 results there on that percentage. Expired listing, mortgage up to 4%.
Mortgage up to 4%.
Mm-hmm. Or we can put back 6. There was a lot of people, a lot of properties on the 6. 1,600 properties still.
On 6%.
On 6% or below.
Okay, save that list.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, no, it's good. I'll save it right now. I like that.
You guys think we're doing this for you, don't you?
I always tell students that too. I do a lot of stuff. It's mainly for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's do.
Surprise. Ain't gonna waste all this time.
Yeah. Low equity plus expired. Then we'll put 6% or below. Okay, so I know where that came from. The leads come from. That's already saved. So I'm going to be getting emails consistently now with this list. All right, so we saved all of our lists. We got the property. What do we do next? So next we will.
Do we have any more questions on just creating a list yet?
Can you delete save searches? Yes.
Let's take them. Okay.
Delete save searches. So if you click here in this little arrow, you're going to have this box pop up. You click view all, and then you just delete whichever ones you want to delete there. All right. Zillow, Fizbo. Can you get Zillow for sale list? Yeah, you can. Well, not for sale by owner. No, it'll be mixed in with all the other properties. If you're looking for an on-market property listed by an agent, then yeah, you can. You can just go to the active listings button right there. Okay.
Wait a minute. If, see, we don't even know for sure these people have a house for sale.
They definitely do not. Like, there's not an active. That's why I was at the beginning. They're not actively putting a sign or their house online or anything. And the majority, and there's going to be some here that probably do, a small percentage.
Well, just
But
because I listed on Zillow is not going to exclude it from my list.
it's not going to exclude it. He was asking, can you just find a list of people who have their house on Zillow for sale by owner?
Now, why would I want to do that? You have to call a lot of those to get a deal.
Yeah.
I want people calling me. Let's don't forget that. Whole purpose here, put a card in their hand and have them call you, not chase people that are have their listing on Zillow,
Correct.
which we know we don't provide anymore, but this is a whole lot better. In other words, just taking what we used to do and narrowing down to only quality leads, or what seemed to be quality.
Yep.
In fact, the inside market information states that you should be getting 1 out of 7 to 1 out of 20 of these types of leads under contract. Now, that depends on, of course, your ability to handle a closing call and your knowledge of what you're trying to accomplish. But I ain't touching a deal for less than 20 grand. And that's just 20 grand up front. I don't count all the back end if we actually do terms deals. So we can get way more motivated than people listing on Zillow.
Yeah, I agree. I think and that's a big misconception with a lot of students too, is, they're just going after the people with the sign in the yard, and better deals are going to be without the sign.
That's
So
correct.
and you're going to get a lot of no's. If you try and call most of them, they're going to say my house isn't for sale. And that's normal. Okay. So don't think you're doing anything wrong if you're calling or mailing.
Well, actually, you're not going to call them.
Or the VA,
VA's
sorry.
going to
Yeah,
call them for you.
correct.
You don't know.
Yeah. So you don't even have to deal with that part of it then.
Yeah, you're not going to probably not going to make a closing call just every lead you get that they contact because of something like that. It's
Correct.
listed, or I took it out the market,
Yeah.
or it's sold, or whatever.
All right. Another question here. Would pre-foreclosures fit into this list? I'm not sure what this list is, but you do have a pre-foreclosure button here. And if you were asking about the zombie property, then yeah, that would include that as well.
Pre-foreclosure means what in this case?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, pre-foreclosure means that they're in any step of that process, whether it's month 2 or month.
So in other words, they've been filed on.
They've been filed on. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's,
Yeah.
pre-foreclosure could also be people that are behind on their payments but haven't been filed on. Okay, you'll know very quickly if you mail to that list because
See-
people will tell you.
These properties are going through the foreclosure process, but not have yet completed the process.
Okay,
That's what we receive notices from several counties when a foreclosure notice has been filed.
pretty
So
clearly,
filed. Yeah.
clearly explains it. So
Yep.
these are people that are in foreclosure. Now, that means that it's just hit the public record. Very good time for you to contact them. But darn sure better make sure you follow up on people that are in foreclosure. Because the closer they get to the sale, the more motivated they're going to get. And believe me, you're not the only one mailing them either.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because the foreclosure here means it's bank owned.
You sure?
I'm positive. Yeah. These properties have gone through the foreclosure process in their state and have been foreclosed on.
They have been foreclosed.
On foreclosures, there's a pre-foreclosure
Oh,
and there's
got
a
it.
foreclosure.
Okay,
I just want to make
foreclosure.
sure that's clear that foreclosures are bank-owned properties.
Yeah,
Pre-foreclosures are still owned by the owner, but it's, they're going through the foreclosing
Right.
process right
yeah.
now.
You don't care about the bank-owned properties, to be honest,
Yeah.
because they're going to be listed. They don't sell them. They list them all.
All right. Bill asks, when I want a comp, I go to the top left of Dreams, have to put in the address of the house I'm interested in. Sometimes the house comes up and sometimes it's not. What am I doing wrong?
Nothing.
Nothing. Sometimes, depending on what area you live in, if it's real rural in particular, you may not have comps within a mile in the last 6 months or 3 months. So sometimes if you can't find one of those, I usually try to go back a little further, maybe 12 months, and maybe you can,
Yeah.
Disagree with that, but that's usually what I
You
do.
should also go to Zillow and see if it's got it, and it may or may not.
Yeah. Can someone explain the retail, rental, and wholesale? Okay, you're talking about the scores. Set the max price for wholesale. Okay, the scoring system, since you brought it up here, these numbers here, if you have whatever zip code that you have subscribed to, whatever, if you're on the 297 and above plan, you don't want to have this on the $99 plan, but 297 and above, you at least have one. And so any score over 500 in any of these categories means that they're more likely to sell in the next 90 days for either a wholesale price a rental price, or a retail price. So if you were to use this and you wanted to really narrow down a list, you could probably put like 750 as the minimum on a wholesale. If you were looking for a wholesale deal, maybe put 750 minimum, and it's going to give you every house that the AI detects is likely to sell in the next 90 days. How they detect it, it's based on what I've learned is billions of data points from anything from the magazines you subscribe to the searches on your phone to whatever. There's no privacy, right? Everything you do is being tracked by somebody or some site or something. So there's a lot of information out there, and based on what it's collecting, it's basically saying that this house has all the signs and symptoms of being in the process of selling this house at a significant discount.
In other words, it's from 1 to 10. Closer the score is to 10, the more motivated they seem to be. The problem with that is that we don't know how they come up with these scores. And we've been told from the inside that you get better results picking your own motivated list than you do letting the AI pick them for you. And that's probably true. And I can see why. I can target it way, way, way down. And AI don't know what terms means. AI probably wondering what I want a low equity house for.
You'd be surprised.
I don't trust the scoring system. I'd rather pick my own list.
I agree. I was really high on the scores when we first got it, but the more I've never used the scoring prior to that, and I like just building my own list without the scores personally. But
yeah, it's the only way you're going to really get to the top quality.
I find it most powerful to combine the two to score. So, it says that it uses, over 2 billion data points. Some strong indicators that would, say that, somebody might be likely to sell soon. May not make them great leads for you, even though it's true they might be selling soon. So, an example of are things like if you maybe list with a realtor. That's a really good sign that you're going to be selling soon. However, it's not a good a lead for you because they're listed with a realtor. So if you went with a high AI sellability score and also went with not listed with a realtor, as one of your criteria, then that would give you a much better list than going with the AI sellability scores alone. So it's really powerful, but you just got to use some common sense in there too.
I point out you only get one AI zip code at the 297 level. That's going to change soon, but I wouldn't worry about the AI right now. We got too much to do picking your own list. Anyway, you don't have to pick them. You can let them pick them if you want. Think about the company that's doing our AI, all this stuff for you. They got a lot of customers. Okay, they know what's working, what's not working, and you might have a chat with them and tell them, well, what do you think the list I ought to choose first is? Yeah. Rely on their experience.
Or you can ask ChatGPT too. Could be an option for you. I'm sure they can give you a pretty good answer to start.
Because all we're doing is guessing.
Yeah.
We're using the MSU plan.
That is true. Yeah. That's all you can do.
That means make shit up because you don't
know. All right. Do you find mailing postcards is better than texting?
Do both.
Yeah.
Do both. Text is part of your system. Text them and call them. You're going to mail to them at least 6 times, most of them. And you're going to get a phone call in there somewhere along the line, and you're going to do text in there. And you might want to do text even before you do the phone call.
Yep.
Because people just won't pick up the phone nowadays.
All right, Tom. Kansas is one of the few states that does not allow the public to get sales records. Does that mean this will have much less information for these states like Kansas?
That depends. A lot of this stuff has nothing to do with sales records.
Yeah. I know that they are working on getting the comps for those non-disclosure states. And I believe, I know Texas is already on here. You can pull comps. I haven't really come across any other states that are non-disclosure yet, but they are working. But it won't affect in terms of pulling vacant properties or pre-foreclosures or things like that, because all that is filed with the county, and that's where they're getting the data. They're basically getting it from directly online from the county. So how about oh, that's just okay. That's what I want to know. Can we find the property that didn't sell at the foreclosure auction, like over-the-counter properties? You could, but I don't think through here. I don't know where you'd find properties that went to auction and then weren't bought at the auction.
My biggest question is, why would I want them? if they weren't bought, it's likely because they wanted more than they're gonna get.
Yeah, unless it's like, unless you're going after a short sale and doing that way, but
Because it's worth a try to find them, but there's so many lists on here.
yeah.
Quit trying to add more stuff. Use what's on here. You won't need more stuff. Mind what's working. Keep doing it while you're testing other things.
Gary, do you rule out rural properties as they are harder to sell?
I'd have to know what rural means.
Yeah. I always say if it's within probably an hour of a major city, or maybe 30 minutes to an hour of a major city, you probably wouldn't have a problem selling it. But if it's a few hours away from a major city,
I wouldn't even do an hour away from a major city. All right, now I got to define what that is. But if there's civilization somewhere near it, within, I wouldn't go 100 miles, because it's going to be hard for you to go 100 miles not have civilization anyway.
yeah, maybe a half hour away, half hour drive within a radius or something like that.
But you think of this: who's living in rural properties now? There's a buyer for every one of them.
Yeah. What does AVM mean? AVM, it's just it's Dream's version of a Zestimate, basically.
Yeah. And you can't trust it.
Have you had success with targeting rental properties for tired landlords?
Is that one we can?
Not through here. You can't. There's no landlord list on here, but there is on Zillow. So that's a good list to call. I mean, they're on Zillow looking to rent their home, and if you call them and say, "Well, can I rent it with have an option to buy it, and I'll cover all the repairs?" I mean, that's a pretty good opening.
Yeah.
How do we report tech issues? Tech issues. So if you go down here on the left column, there's a question. At the very bottom, you have an email, and you have a toll-free number here. I email them pretty frequently, and I get a response usually within an hour, a couple hours. Honestly, they're pretty quick. So any questions you can direct to them. Okay. How is Dreams Pro better than PropStream? PropStream is a program all investor associates use, $99 a month. What does Dreams Pro have that makes it better?
We'd have to have PropStream's list of benefits to be able to answer that question.
Yeah. I don't think PropStream has a CRM, so I can name you one right there. But can you do the 297 package with the 8 lead type only? The 297 package does only have 8 lead types. Okay, that's all the questions as far as that. Going back here, we have our list now. We have our leads, my leads here. How do I get in contact, or what do I do with it? So when my leads here, you're going to click there, and you're going to have several options. You're going to have a lead trace, which is skip trace. You're going to have a direct mail, which obviously to send mail. And then there's a download form here. I'll start with the download here. You can download this list. I use this to download for Facebook stuff. So because Facebook has a special format that it has to be in. So you can download the list you've created and then upload them if you're running Facebook or Instagram ads to target those people, because Facebook has everyone's information. So if you give them their address and the phone number, they'll find them on their platform and target them with your ad. Lead trace is basically skip trace, is how to get phone numbers, emails, mailing addresses, relative phone numbers. And I can pull up one we've done. Let's see, just so everyone can see quickly what a skip tracing file looks like. So here's what a file looks like. You got the first name, last name, you got a mailing address here, you got a property address here, and then further along, there's a lot of stuff here you got to delete and clean up a little bit, but you got a phone number here, you got a phone number here, and phone number here, and you can get up to 10. There's an 88% chance likelihood the first 2 numbers are going to be correct. I usually don't go past the 3rd number. I just found it to be a waste of time after that if you're dialing. So if you have the VAs calling for you, maybe you have them call the top 3 and kind of save you a little money there. The gives email addresses here, and then some more relative phone numbers down the line. So this is how you come in contact with them, texting or calling through skip tracing. Okay. There's there. Go back to the dashboard. All right. Let's misspelling this. It's not loading here for me. Internet's slow. I don't know why.
You keep misspelling it.
Am I misspelling it?
Yeah. There you go.
All right, my bad, guys. Okay. All right, so we still have our leads here saved. So we know how to skip trace, and now we're going to go move on to some direct mailing here. Direct mail. I want to mail this list. I'm going to click direct mail. I'm going to click direct mail again. From here, label your campaign. We'll just label it test for now. How many pieces do you want? You want to do 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces? Let's just do 3 for the exercise. Do you want to do a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly? I would probably recommend, unless you're targeting a specific list like pre-foreclosure and you're in a state that has a very, very fast process, maybe you want to do it, on a weekly basis as opposed to a monthly. But yeah, we usually do monthly here. Has all your information. You make sure you have a return phone number that you know is going to Pat Live, and then mail a copy to yourself. It's called seeding yourself in the mail. Always mail yourself. Every drop you do, always mail yourself a piece to know it went out, and you see the quality and how it looked and what time it came. Okay, so here we got different target audiences. I usually just stick with the general. Some of these other ones aren't my favorite. I've been mailing these 3 right here. The yellow one, this one, and it's not showing this one for some reason. So this is the one that the guy called that we just got a deal on last week. Nothing crazy, nothing special about it. This one here, this one I mailed before. Got a few calls from this. Actually had an appointment on Saturday from this one here. And
What is it?
This one says, hey, my name is sender name.
Headline.
What's that?
I want to see the headline.
Oh.
There we go.
What's it?
So you mailed this.
I did.
Wait a minute. You're a man. The last thing as a man's going to do is not change it. So you didn't change any of these things?
No, I really didn't. I actually tried, and it was kind of a pain to do so I gave up.
You're a weird man.
Yeah. No, well, I remember for a while when we first got it, I really was kind of hesitant to send it because I didn't like the postcards. And then you came in my office one day and said, listen, just get them in the mail. So I said, okay. And I just sent them. So yeah, this one, and I used a yellow one as this as well. Same exact thing, but it's just a yellow version.
That's all they need to know.
Yep.
I want to buy your house. Call me. Do you put a text number on there? Do they know they can text that number?
I guess it doesn't say on there, but I have gotten text from it.
It should.
So yeah,
Text or call.
I agree.
And where are they going to call when they call?
They go to Pat Live.
Pat Live?
Yeah.
ronlegrand.com/Pat Live. Very important ingredient in your system to not take the load off people calling you all day, especially when you're selling houses.
Yeah. Yes.
There's way more calls from them. Pat Live will give that information to you right away, and then you can send it over to your VA to make the call, fill out the property information sheet. Pat Live's immediately $200 a month, guys and gals, $200 a month to not have to take calls. Now you got your VAs making the outbound calls. Somewhere along the line, you're going to ask yourself, well, what is there for me to do? And I hope their answer is very, very little, because that's the goal.
I agree. And I fought Pat Live, just like you said, men do. And I got to a point, I'm telling you, like, I just didn't, the phone would ring and I would just, God, I do not want to do this right now and deal with it. I'm not in a position. I found it actually hurt some of the calls because I wasn't in a position to take them and look at it and have a good conversation.
Doesn't matter even if you missed some calls. That's better because you're going to miss them anyway if you try to take them all.
Yeah.
You're not up 24 hours. You're not ready to take the call. You're not in a good mood. You're in a grouchy mood. You don't have PI sheets in front of you, and your wife is with you at dinner, and you cannot stop and take the call. So that's why don't we use the systems that we spent so long setting up instead of trying to create the wheel and walking over the dollars to get to the dimes.
Yeah.
If you're taking inbound calls, your business is not going to grow very fast. If you outsource everything, it's all right here for you. It's all done. All you got to do is make a decision and either make the closing call or get somebody to do that for you as well, like I've done. That's what he does. I don't do it. Something else I was going to say. Never mind. It'll come to me.
Okay. So we set up to do 3 drops, 1 per month. So you can pick this postcard for the first drop if you wanted. If you wanted to send a letter for the second drop, you can pick one of these letters here. It's again, a very basic, I'm looking to buy your house, give me a call if you're interested letter. There. And then if I wanted to send that third postcard there. So now I got 3 different drops, 3 different messages. Well, all the same message, but 3 different kind of ways of getting it to them. And we'll move on to the next. It'll tell you this one's going to hit the mailboxes 112 to 115. So today's the 7th. So you're looking at about a 5 to 7 day turnaround there. This one will drop on 212 and 215. This one will drop on 312 and 315. Finish and review. Whatever card you have on file that's paying for the membership here is going to be charged for the skip tracing and the direct mailings.
Skip tracing is a dime a name, right?
10 cents a name for the skip tracing. You can mail or skip trace as little as 1 property or as many as, I don't think there's a limit on how much you can do. So, yeah, and then that's direct mail. Again, don't overthink the mail pieces. I did it, and it doesn't really just get them in the mail. Doesn't have to be anything special. Just have the message, we buy houses, call me if you're interested type of thing. So don't overthink it. A lot of students go weeks and just talking about finding the perfect postcards. get it in the mail, and let's get the phone ringing and get some deals going.
If you want to, get these going first. If you want find some you like, and you can always, all you got to do is send them to them once and put it in a file for you. But guys, you got to remember this whole thing is a system. Cards just get the phone to ring. Pat Live answers the phone for you. VAs do all the work for you. All you got to do is make a closing call on some of these. You're going to call all of them. VA is going to call all of them. You're not. You're probably going to call a lot of them because VAs ask them, do you want to talk about other ways other than all cash? Get a better deal. They say yes, that's what we call a yes lead, but it doesn't mean it's a yes. If they say no, that doesn't mean we don't buy the house. We'll buy a lot of houses from no leads, okay? Because there's several times more than there are the yes leads. You got to call them all because when VA asks them questions, they're not prepared to respond to those questions, and a lot of times they just say no because that's the human thing to say. So don't let no stop you from calling these sellers. Truly, there are as many deals in the no's as there are the yeses.
Yep.
And that's all about the scripts. And if you don't have my scripts, you can get by the way, when you're a Gold Club member at the $99 level, all my forms and agreements are right there on the Gold Club site, all of them. And that's worth its weight in gold right there. You can fill them out and email them, fill them out, print them out, or print them blank, whichever you want to do. That's all part of that system. And if you got a question, you got a problem, let's say it's on the one about land trust or whatever, just go up top, type in land trust, and here comes a whole bunch of lessons on land trust. Go to the resources, type in land trust, and here comes the deed and the trust agreement to create a land trust. Don't know what a land trust is? No idea what I'm talking about. Go type in land trust. Here comes some lessons on land trust. Gold Club is a very important site to you. Plus, you get an email from us every Friday with your questions on it. I video your questions. I put them up there, and a lot of other information at the same time that we glean from ourselves as well as other providers outside of us. All we're trying to do is make it easier for you to do business. Get to the point where there ain't a whole lot to do. It's all being done for you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
A couple questions here before we go forward. How would you compare the accuracy of the skip tracing compared to other skip tracing services?
Look, it doesn't matter who's doing the skip tracing. They can only get what's on file, what's on public record. Same with comps. There's only one number a house sold for, no matter what website it's on. The important thing is, can you get that information? Not trying to compare skip tracers to each other. It's irrelevant. You're going to get way more pieces that you need to mail than you're going to want anyway. And remember, you got more than one list. And I would advise you to be working 2 or 3 lists at the same time and see which one of them is going to really pop. You might have to go through a different mailing campaign, but one of them is going to really pop. And it's always been in direct mail as long as I've been in this business, 43 years now. The most important part of a direct mail campaign is the list, not the piece. It's the list. Get it in the mail.
Yep. All right. You started by selecting a county. How do you get a score since that only works for a zip? I selected a city, and yeah, if you'll only have, I kind of have a Cadillac version here. You only have whatever AI zip you've subscribed to as it for the scoring. So if you have the 297, you'll have the 1 AI zip, and if you have the upgraded plan, then you'll have the 5 that you'll be able to get those scores from.
Just get the 1 now and forget the word AI and do what we're trying to do.
Yeah, just make your list, get out of there. What's more effective, letters or postcards? Postcards can be lost, but letters are longer reading, but with both, they have something tangible in their hand. Which is best?
Both.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's
both. And honestly, I mean, look at the difference. Now, what's a mail piece cost?
99 cents, yeah.
A buck versus 59 cents. Most people want to at least start with postcards, and I'm in favor of inserting a letter or 2 in there as well in one of those 6, but most people just don't want to spend the extra money.
Yeah.
And yes, it's true that a letter has more copy in it, but the most successful letter that we've ever used is the yellow letter with almost no copy.
Yeah.
It says, "Hi, John. My name is Ron. My wife is Beverly. We'd like to buy your house at blank, blank, blank address. Please call me at blank phone number." Most successful letter we've ever done. It looks like it's handwritten. It's got a handwritten envelope, live stamp. Of course, it wasn't handwritten. A machine makes it look handwritten, and the letter is handwritten. It's got the address of the house right in the center of it. If you're going to send letters, send that one.
Yeah.
But it's got to look like it came from grandma. 6x9 envelope, live stamp, folder, flap tucked in on the inside. It's the best producing letter that I've ever seen. In fact, it was invented right here in this building 22 years ago. Still being used.
Yep. Do the skip trace list include the age of the property owner for those of us focusing on tax delinquent in states where there are tax exemptions at certain age?
What does that say?
The skip trace list does include the age. I don't know about does the skip trace list include the age of the property owner for those of us focusing on tax delinquents in states where there are tax exemptions at a certain age?
Tax exemptions have nothing to do with it.
With property taxes, yeah.
Tax exemptions here in Florida has nothing to do with it. The fact is that they're delinquent or they're not delinquent. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're good prospects. They're worth mailing to. Especially if they happen to be on the tax deed sale list coming up, then they're really worth mailing to.
Yeah, and you can find that, guys, online for free.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
This is a writer downer. We have several tax deed sales here in Jacksonville. That's where they literally auction off the house to pay back the people that have bought the taxes in the past on tax liens. You get the list of the people that are going to be on the next auction, and you got a very, very motivated seller. Especially if you let them know your house is about to be auctioned off. Did you know that?
You can see this is Duval here. So next week we have a tax deed sale. So I can come find all these properties here who are going to auction in about a week, and skip them, mail them, do whatever.
I'd mail those by priority mail or FedEx or whatever to get their attention.
Yeah, I'm glad I checked. I will go through this today. This is for us here, so this happened next week. So I definitely will do that today.
You better. How many are there?
Let's go back to the calendar view. 28.
That's all?
Yeah, for next week. And then February we have another one. There's only 8 as of right now, but that might change as it gets closer. But
that's good.
Yeah. So here you got every county has something similar to this. You just got to find yours. You could also do, while we're here, I'll show you the foreclosure as well. Very powerful list as well that you can pull. So all of these houses here within are going to foreclosure auction this is the 13th. You got all these addresses. This is free list right here. Powerful free list here that you can get for yourself. So,
and they're right here on the site.
Yeah, every county will have one. This is Duval, so you have to go search for yours. But I mean, they're somewhere.
Oh, this is not. You're not on.
No. This is how they were talking about that. So I was just giving a little tip here. You can pull. This is where we used to bid at the auction here, online.
I wonder if I can pull this list and send it to a company and have them mail it.
Well, you could get these addresses, put them on an Excel sheet, upload them to Dreams, and mail them directly from the platform. So that's what I've been doing with the expireds.
I promise you that'll make you a bunch of money right there.
100%. Yep.
Now, don't be shocked when they're redeemed on the last day. You might get used to that.
Yeah.
All right. And when they do call you and they want you to buy it, better make sure you do your homework on it now. Make sure there's still a house on that land. Don't really bid on anything at the tax deed sale, except little pieces of vacant land, maybe.
Yeah.
But you're bidding on a house. You better do your homework. How do you think I know that?
Tim has a question. $297 a month has extra additional filters, not just the standard 8, correct? That is not correct. It has a CRM, it has the website, it has a few other features in the $297, but the actual 8 lead types are the same from the $99 to the $297.
And don't worry, Tim. I know you've been around a while. Pretty soon we're going to be adding more to that. We're working on it right now, and I'm not supposed to talk about it.
Yeah. Tom, is it helpful to put your email on outbound postcards?
Put my email on them.
On your
Maybe the same information, but not laid out like you do an email.
No, I think you just have your email address on the postcard as a way for them to reach out to you if
Why
they
not?
want. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
How do you edit the card and letters? Let me show you something here since you brought it up here. Go to your knowledge base here. It's on the left hand question mark. It'll pull up your support, and you can put what are you asking for? A custom postcard or something?
Wouldn't it be easier just to send them one?
Well, I think he was asking how do you do it on here. I would go to the knowledge base here and just search for like custom postcard, how to make your own postcard, and it'll give you a step-by-step direction. And this is a good site for anything. If you don't know what skip tracing is, or you don't know how to do something, type in whatever you're looking for here. It'll give you a detailed either video or step-by-step directions on how to find it.
This thing also has training videos on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is the knowledge base. Yeah, videos here, how to get started, frequently asked questions, search for leads, build a list, direct mail, lead pipeline questions. So anything regarding this platform here is going to be, the answers will be in this little thing here.
And then they have customer service you can call. if you need
Correct.
to.
And the customer service again is down here below, email and phone number. All right. When is the new top of the line package available? Well,
You get to 297 now and you're at the top of the line, and trust me, it won't be very long. You'll get the other information, but we're not going to release it till it's ready. It won't be long. What's the difference anyway? You already got eight motivation factors.
Yeah.
Start using them.
in your class last December, you mentioned we'll have access to a land trust program you have. How do you get access
It's on
to
the
it?
Gold Club site. Get on the Gold Club site, what you get with the 99 or the 297 includes everything that the 99 includes. And you go under resources. Yes. And then you put in, what was the question?
The land trust.
That's under resources. And then you put in land trust in the box at the top, and it brings you right to all of the documents that have to do in land trust.
Yeah. And probably, I don't know if you want to do it now, but we could, never mind. I won't do it. I was going to take them to Gold Club, but. So we got direct mail, we did the skip tracing, and best practices for mail, we kind of covered that. I would definitely recommend, I don't know, what do you feel about, I know we want to do sequential mailing. Would you do that from the first drop, or would you kind of do a few drops first and see which one we're getting best results and then kind of double down and do sequential mailing on it?
Well, I'd factor in what type of list am I mailing to. For example, pre-foreclosure, I definitely want to mail them. I hit them every week, frankly.
Yeah.
And I assume that when you get through the first 6, you can go back and do another 6.
Mhm.
Yep. Give me another list. Vacant houses, there's no real rush on that. Expired listings, there is a rush because they got to sell that house.
Yep.
I don't know. List by list will answer that question.
Okay, so it's list dependent, you're saying?
I will tell you one thing. You don't get any calls back on 6. I wouldn't send them another 6. Think about what you're investing at. 59 cents each times 6. $3.60 per lead. And that's 6 different hits. Man, that's an extremely cheap price to pay for the kind of money you're going to get out of real estate when you just get 1 or 2 deals. And you can't mail a decent list 6 times without getting some calls. I can tell you that right now. Just ain't going to happen.
Yeah. I would also say when the same list that you do mail to, I would also skip trace that and give to the VA to call simultaneously. And that's usually what I do. You have them call in, you have them mail in that same list. And sometimes it does help having that postcard that matches, your name when you get on the phone with them. They already have your postcard. Then someone calls on your behalf. So it kind of makes it a little bit more less scammy
You
or
want to
whatever.
mix mail with text, with call,
Correct. Yeah.
with email.
With email. Yeah. All the above. Yep.
And you can set it up. You can set up you haven't even got to the CRM part.
Yeah, that is tomorrow, I believe, is the last day.
Yeah,
But
okay.
yeah.
You're going to learn tomorrow how to set it up to automatically do the email, so you can forget about that. Automatically do the postcards. But when it comes to calling them, it's going to tell you when to call them. You still got to make that call.
Yeah.
Assuming you haven't already reached them.
I do like to point this out too. So if you individually click in on the property, it's going to bring you to the Dreams Pro value. This is the Dreams Zestimate. Again, don't go off of it, but it's a retail, rental, wholesale score here. Gives you the dream types, free and clear, tax delinquent.
Hold on just a second. Yeah. Hey, Nick. Yes, sir. Put on there the first one that tells us I'm in. Can we get them on the line? If not, get in there right now and say I'm in, and we'll pull a list for you right now.
Okay, so if someone wants us to pull a list for them, then they can go ahead and put just put I'm in the comments, and we'll pull it up for you. And we can just put in we'll look you up. That way you don't have to post your email or your contact information publicly. But just watch for an email coming from us, and we can share that with you, so we can pull you up on screen and pull the list for you.
By the way, most of you probably aren't aware that we have a 3-day event coming up in February, isn't it? IPD?
Yeah.
Implementation Power Days. Well, we bring 20 entities into this room we're in right now in Jacksonville, and literally do this stuff for you over the 3 days. We'll set your thing up. We'll get all your systems set up. We'll get them all running. Generate leads for you right while you're sitting right here. I mean, everybody will generate leads for you. We'll practice on comps while you're sitting here on properties where you're at. In other words, we're going to practice everything on there. We practice making the closing call. Everything on there, we're going to not just practice, we're going to actually implement it. So when you go home, you're ready to do business. Even pair you up with if you don't have a VA already yet, we'll pair you up with them. So we're closing these little gaps that keep people from going home and doing anything. I can tell you that right now. And of course, setting systems up was becoming a problem for folks that don't exactly live on the internet like he does all day.
And the IPD I'm looking forward to this one. We did that test one a few months back, and we only had five entities there, and 2 of the 5 had deals. 2 of the 7 had deals within 30 days of leaving. Yeah. Tony and Angie and Giselle, and I forget her husband's name, but Dominic, I think. Yeah.
I think we're probably the only ones we set up a list for with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, well, we got Michael Brooks says he's in.
Hey, Michael.
He's from, this is a tough one, Lutherville, Timonium, Maryland.
What?
Okay. Well, but I'm going to put that in here. So I just want to point out one thing. When you click your individual properties, there are some good information here. You got the owner's name. You got any information. Is it absentee, out of state? The property type, townhouse, year built, the city it's in, county, the schools, subdivision. But I really like going down to the bottom here, and it gives you some loan information if there's a loan on there. When it was bought and the percentage. And I found these to be pretty accurate so far.
We got to add that to the list.
Yeah.
You can actually find out what they owe right here.
Yeah, and it gives you the percentage, their interest rate they're in, when the recording date was, the maturity date, the lender.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Was it a warranty deed, a standalone refinance? It gives you all that information at the very bottom. So super. And usually if there's a loan on here, it'll even have the payment amount. Let me see if I can find one that's not free and clear.
Well, I'm going to talk to you thinker brains right now. And that is, I don't want you going down to this page and house by house pulling up all this information. Just get the damn postcard in the mail. That's all. Because it doesn't matter until the seller calls you.
I just want to see if I can get one real quick to see.
Michael, we need. Well, you want to pull that in, put that in there for him?
Yeah, I'll do it right now. He said Lutherville?
Yeah.
Lutherville, Timonium. Michael, we just sent you an email. If you want to click on the link and you can join us live with your webcam if you want to talk to Ron and Adel here.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, is it Maryland, you said?
Yeah, he said it's Baltimore, Maryland. So I guess he's
Let's just
right
put in
outside
Baltimore then. Make it easy. Now, Michael, we're not going to be able to draw a line around where you want to work, so
What goes around Baltimore
we'll
there?
just do Baltimore,
Yeah,
period.
yeah, whatever it is there. So in Baltimore, you got 93,000 properties to choose from there.
Mail all of them, Michael. 6 times, Michael. Just kidding.
All right, so we're gonna get him on before we start, or you want to just start building? I can take some of these questions while he's getting on.
Yeah.
Okay. Will the VA generate the list and send out the mailings for me?
Yep. It's a beautiful thing. Look right at the top. It's the first one on the list I sent you earlier. What it'll do. Generate and call leads.
I do think but you do have to give them the criteria.
Yeah. Of course, you don't work
okay.
with them on the phone.
Yeah. What do I need to have in order to have them do this?
You need to be in the 297 level, and you need to have an idea of, your area that you want to go to, because we're in the country with this thing, and then you should probably look at the list of motivated type sellers and ask yourself which ones do you think will work, but don't forget to ask them which ones are working. And I think they can make you got to put in the parameters of the bedrooms, bathrooms, price of the house and whatever. And if you're looking for junkers, I would suggest that you put in not to exceed well above the median price. Like ours is 300. I got 150 in mine, because anything that comes in that is on the market less than 150, I immediately know it's a junker and it needs rehab. If that makes sense to you. And the more you do this, the more targeted you can get.
Yep.
So we got him on there yet?
Working on it.
Okay.
I will.
Oh, you got Baltimore up, right?
I do have Baltimore up here. Yep.
Okay, next question. Got him? Hey, Mike.
Oh, Michael. Okay.
You hear me?
He was here at the IPD, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. You're on mute.
Yeah, Michael, you're muted.
Hello?
He's trying to get off of mute right now.
I don't read lips.
There he is.
Hey, can you hear me?
I got you.
Okay.
All right. Give me some parameters.
Did you use Lutherville Timonium? Is that the address you put in, or the county, or did you just put in Baltimore County?
I did put Baltimore. I can change it if you want.
Put in Baltimore County, Baltimore City. I'm not.
Oh.
What are you looking for? Terms or junkers?
Terms.
Okay.
Good.
Then we want above median price. You know what the median price is?
About 250,000.
Okay. Very close to here. So you want houses that are probably worth more than 300,000.
You want to put 300? Okay.
I don't know. You're making this list, Mike.
Keep it at 250 because there's a good
250.
amount.
Okay, 250. Certainly a minimum of 3 bedrooms, right?
Yes.
Okay. You want 2 baths?
Let's go with 1.
Yeah, you need to go with 1 because you're going to find a lot of junkers only have 1.
Okay. Square feet?
It's got to be over 1,000.
You meant to say 1,000.
Yeah. You think it matters on terms deals? If you're looking for terms, would you focus on
It's
the
a
square
minimum
footage?
of 1,000.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to just leave them all open?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll do 1,000. Okay. All righty. So we got single family over 250,000, 3 bedrooms, 1,000 square feet.
Now, what kind of parameters?
Then we'll do owner type. I'll go ahead and put individual there and just narrow it down a little bit tighter.
In this case, you want a lot of equity,
Yep.
not a little.
Well, if you're looking for terms, you want a lot of equity or you want to do low equity?
A lot of equity.
Okay. Let's see.
You're not going to buy them cheap for cash if they owe more than you're going to pay for them.
Well, he's looking for terms.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
did say terms.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you probably want low equity, right, Mike?
Yes.
Okay. So you want a certain percentage on the mortgage rate there? Let's do 6% or below?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
It's got a big list to narrow down.
Yeah. Okay. So we got kind of the buy box here, 3 bedroom, 6% or less, 250,000 square feet. So let's go ahead and add the filters now.
Mike, are you writing these down?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
We're going to do low equity here. And I'm going to combine that with
You want them vacant?
Where
Mike?
is the list?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Huh?
yeah, let's go with vacant.
I don't know. You're gonna lose a lot of deals if they're vacant going with terms, because they're probably still living in the house.
All right, then let's.
What I got here so far, low equity expired,
Okay.
over 1,000, below 6%, over 250, at least 3 bedrooms. Give me 60 properties there.
60?
60.
You don't want to get it any lower than that then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 60 good leads right there.
Yeah, you probably would get more if you took off let me just take off the interest and see what it comes up.
Yeah.
Just want to see what that does. 66, there wasn't that many of them.
Okay,
So,
it was all 66 then.
yeah.
Okay, so you know how you can get that on yours, right? Get it in the mail?
Yes, I can.
All right. You don't have to have all 6 pieces before you mail the first one. Just get the first one in the mail
Okay.
while you're playing with the other
Yeah.
5.
And were you able to get all these filters on there, Mike?
Let me see the filters again. Show me the
What
filters.
level are you on?
I'm with 297.
Okay.
Good.
Good. I will. I'm gonna save your list for you here, and I'll email it to you. If you don't, I don't think you have all the stuff we just did, and I can email it to you.
Oh,
Okay.
I know you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll download the list and I'll get it over to you today sometime.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you
I
both.
want to know to buy a house.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got
We want some of the 10%.
That's correct. 10%. Make a note. Ron, 10%. Adel, 2.
Write it down.
All right. When are we going to see you next?
I'm definitely going to get down to this February that you were just speaking about.
Oh, the IPD thing?
Yes,
Okay, good.
because that's my biggest struggle is just.
I know.
Yeah.
That's because you're old, Mike.
I know. I feel it too.
Your 12-year-old could do it for you, though.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. I ain't doing this crap.
I was thinking about making an offer to Adel to come down and just work with him for a day and pay him whatever he wants.
Well, don't say that.
Yeah, you never say that, man. We for masters, we do have somebody come to you and spend 2 days going out in people's houses and working on your business. Are you a master?
No, I'm in the right now I'm in the mentorship.
Well, you ain't very far to go to get a master. That's one of the benefits. As soon as it's paid in full, we send a mentor out to you, and that'd probably be Adel. And you got to generate some leads and call him and make some appointments before he comes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Anyway, something for you to think about.
Yeah.
That'll make a mess for you to clean up after you leave, for sure.
I can talk to Barbara with that when I meet with her.
Oh, so Barbara's your mentor?
Yes, she is.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, we got a couple.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. See you in February.
Nice seeing you.
Yeah. William has a pretty good question here. What's a reasonable budget? What's a reasonable budget for Dreams Pro VA mailings? Blah blah blah.
Well, William, I'm glad you asked that question because that brings up a very good point. I don't want any of you folks going out there and spending thousands of dollars on mailing campaigns until you feel adequate that you're going to be able to make the closing call and handle whatever they say to you, which is not that hard to learn, but it's one thing you've got to learn. In other words, don't generate leads and waste them. You're going to hate yourself. You start with a budget that you think is big enough to get some action. I don't know. See, that's going to depend on how much cash flow you got coming in now and where you're at financially. Some people starting with nothing. So there's all kinds of other ways to get deals other than this program. But on the other hand, as cheap as this mailing is, you ask yourself, what's the most I can spend per week on this and get stuff in the mail? But there's still nothing stopping you from going out and doing the whole list of things we talk about at the boot camp, 4-day boot camp. That, some of them don't cost you anything actually. And this is honestly, this is going to change the market for generating leads, because maybe those of you who hadn't been around very long don't know what we used to have to go through to get something like this in the mail. I mean, we had to do the work. We had to take them to the post office. Somebody had to print them, and then somebody had to address them, and it was a pain in the neck. There was no automatic punch a button and it's gone thing like there is today. It's never been easier than it is today. There's really not a lot for you to do except decide where you're going to generate leads, how much you're going to spend, and get that closing call, and then go out and get contracts from the ones that give you the right answers. That's all he does.
Yeah.
That's all he does. And if he tells you the truth, he'll tell you how many hours he actually works in real estate. Tell them the truth.
It's getting less and less, honestly. The more automated I get, the less and less time I have to spend on doing it, honestly, because a lot of stuff's handled by robots now. But I mean, probably, like I said, 10 hours a week, 8 to 12 hours a week, something like that. It's not really, now I have it set up to where, sellers are booking appointments with me on my calendar to get on the phone. So I just got to make sure I'm ready for that. So I don't really have to do much anymore. So,
Okay. So you're doing that with bots?
Yeah. AI. Any messages that I receive, emails, texts, even Facebook Messenger, any messages are handled by the bot. They'll set appointments for me based on the conversation. And I also do send automated text that says, hey, especially for Facebook, hey, you clicked on our link. I see you didn't fill out the survey. Here's the link for the survey to finish so we can get your offer. And send a couple of those. And then by the end of the workflow, if they haven't filled out the survey, it's basically like, okay, well, it looks like you don't want to fill the survey out. Here's a link to book a call with me, or when's a good time for me to call you, basically and so.
You're going to teach them how to set that up?
I can. I'm working on pretty cool stuff actually right now.
It's also going to teach you how to do your own Google ads.
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram.
Not Google. Yeah.
Which is something you all should be doing, is buying paid ads if you can, because every investor I know is buying ads on Facebook and Google's getting deals from them, including my friend Jay Connor, who's model for all of you in the fall.
And it's so cheap to run ads on Facebook that it's almost dumb not to do it. I mean, you could spend $150, $200 a month and generate 10 to 15 leads from Facebook alone without having to do anything besides set it up, really, and monitor it. So on the direct mail piece, though, to further elaborate, because a lot of students have the same mindset of like you have to send 10,000 pieces or 5,000. You don't.
Those days are over.
Direct mail is really I find to be compounding. Even if you just do 25 a week or 50 a week or whatever you can afford, it'll take a little bit longer to get that deal, but those postcards compound and people keep them and call months later. So as long as you're getting them in the mail consistently, even if it's just 20 or 25, it goes a really, really long, and you're using this platform to make a really tight list. It goes a very long way. So don't think you have to spend some astronomical number to get a deal. You really don't.
Even.
Yeah.
And you get this thing set up. You've got VAs to help you figure out which list to mail to. They're going to do the mailing for you. Think about what you're doing along the way. You're just playing around looking for more lists and making the closing calls on the few that creep through, because you're only going to get a small percentage of the leads creep through that, you got to call them all, but you don't have anything to do until one of them says, yeah, make an appointment to their house. This is not time consuming, extremely part-time business, full-time income, very full-time income. Now, once you get past the startup phase, and you have an idea what you're doing, of course, you're going to ramp up the marketing. You're going to ramp up the whole thing. I mean, if you want to. Some people are happy buying 2 or 3 houses a year. You don't need any help to do that, but you still need the systems. The less you work, the more money you're going to make. Some wise guy told me that.
Same guy told me the same thing.
Yeah. You ought to see him when he came to me. He didn't even know how to spell terms.
That is the truth. It took me time. It really did take me a lot of practice. I feel really confident now that I can handle every objection and you know what I'm talking about, but it took a lot of calls. Definitely.
He was riding back from a house we was looking at the other day, and he said, I'm going to like this terms business. We've done 2 or 3 houses on terms. Yeah. Problem is, though, I keep the houses. He don't get the houses. He only gets some of the money up front.
Yeah. Well, I look at it. One day I'm going to be by myself, right? I'll be by myself one day. So I'm learning right now, and I'll get
after I'm dead.
Yeah.
And a minute before.
Yes, sir.
Write that down.
No, hey, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Let's get these questions.
Yeah. Larry asked, how much is mentoring?
Larry, call that number because it varies depending largely on what you've already got, what credit you got, and so forth. And by the way, we're working on creating a lower price mentoring, group mentoring instead of individual along the way. So we're constantly trying to improve stuff to put you guys in a position where you're going to be making quite a bit of money this year.
Yep.
Because times are changing. I think we're going to have a good year. I think with Trump in there, fixing all the crap that's broke, and moving things forward and getting more money in our pocket and industry's pockets, can't help but get better, in my opinion.
Yep.
Which is worth as much as anybody else's. Which is nothing.
What bot do you use? I've tied in. I use Go High Level, and I've tied it into Dreams, and Go High Level already had the bot attached to it, so I just had to basically train it, give it a prompt, train it, give it a name, monitor it.
It sounds so real.
Yeah.
You cannot tell it's a bot.
Yeah. Especially at the beginning, it's a little clunky, but when it's so crazy how it'll pick up how I talk. It'll read my messages and see. I always say got it or gotcha, and it starts saying got it and gotcha on the message, you know. So it picks up very, very quickly what you're doing and how you speak and kind of replicate what you're
Now,
doing.
you think what that's worth to you. Now they get on, call on your website, or get on your website, and the bot asks them the same questions you're going to ask them on your script.
Yep.
When you're calling them about terms.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going to get that done right away, right on your website. So you're only going to call people to give you some reason to call, right?
Yeah, and you can even upload the script to train your bot, right? Hey, this is what I'm doing. I told the bot, I'm Ron LeGrand's partner. This is what I'm doing. This is how we buy, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, so I let it know what I'm doing, how I'm operating, what my business does, and and it can search the web. It's out of control. It's truly out of control.
Well, we better get ready to promote that. When's the dates on the IPD? Do you know?
I think it's the 12th through the 14th.
12, 13, and 14?
I think so. Maybe Nick can verify that for me.
In February.
In February, yes.
Here in Jacksonville, where we guarantee good weather. Won't see no snow, I can tell you that. You got more questions?
Yeah, I'm brand new to this and have the entry-level Dreams account. What would your plan be to get your first deal done, preferably wholesale?
Wholesale?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, you got to get in at least the $97 bracket, because that's where you're getting your tools to work with. Should get into $297 if you can handle it, because that gives you 8 different mailing lists. But look, there's a lot of ways to get deals that are outside of this program. For example, we got to go through so many things. Could you put signs on your car? Could you put magnets on your car? I buy houses. Can you put signs out on the road? I buy houses. In fact, I got one back here. Yeah. Here's what he puts out. Right there, it's half of a sign.
Yeah.
One could say he does it half-ass. Here's another one. Here's another one. See, put about 25 of these out at the same time. This sign's, what do you think? A couple bucks?
Yeah, I think it's like $1.50 or $2 with the steak and everything all in.
You just go to a neighborhood you want to buy in, and that would be the low-end neighborhoods where you want to do a junker. And I would be mailing to the junker. My whole parameters would be different, like we do. Like I said, our median price is about $300. I don't want anything listed more than $150, because I know if it is, I ain't going to be buying it. And because my parameters are so low, I only get junk. So you're going to adjust that. Any realtor can set you up one of those with the MLS. It's free. But there's so many other things. Help me out here.
Yeah.
Signs, flyers, door
and-
hangers. Give me a door hanger out of the drawer there. And I come equipped. This is a door hanger, double-sided. Cost me $550 to print 5,000 of these suckers on cardboard, glossy cardboard. So when you're picking your neighborhood where the ugly houses are, and that's the cheap houses, get down low. You're hiring a couple, 3 or 4 kids to get with you in a car, and go put one of these on every house till you run out of cards. They can do about, 1,000 of them in 4 hours?
Yeah, give or take somewhere.
4
around
hours
there.
is about
Yeah.
as long as you're going to get them to work.
Yep.
And then you're probably going to have to buy them lunch. That'd be the nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Pay them $10 an hour. Very minimal cost. So we put these out up where we can, not in front of people's houses, and on trees and wherever we can. And then they come with wires. And then we put these on the door at the same time. And then we're looking for ugly vacant houses at the same time that we come home and skip trace and find the owner and again, contact them. And we're also looking for any FSBO signs of any type, ugly or pretty. You got the seller's phone number right there. Kill all of that with one trip out on the road. I mean, anybody with a very limited budget can do that. By the way, it ain't going to cost you much more to print 5,000 than it is 1,000 of these things.
And that's you had mentioned before about the Driving for Dollars app. That's perfect time you would use it when you're doing that. You got the app open, you're driving around the neighborhood, you just click that address, add save, and you just keep on driving. And when you get back, then you'll have everything saved on your account here. So
That comes on the Dreams program, doesn't it?
yes, sir. Yeah, the Driving for Dollars.
Didn't even
Yep.
put that. I did mention it.
Yeah.
Anyway, get your camera out. I don't think this is going to work too well.
Oh, there you got you. There you go.
Get your camera
That'll
out.
work.
I'm
Hopefully.
gonna put it, where am I going? I'm gonna put it over
You're
here.
good.
Put your camera out and shoot it. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one side. There's the other side. It's all on one card. And you'll see some of the benefits that we tout, which a lot of people, on here it says they don't have to be out of their house when we close, and they don't. That's a big deal to some people.
That is a huge one, actually.
Also, it says here, you don't have to take all your furniture, take what you want, leave what you want. It's another big benefit to some people. I know that every house we bought, there's been furniture, some sort left in it. Because I'm telling you, they're relieved to hear that, because now they don't have to clean out their house before they leave. So anyway.
Oh yeah, I didn't tell you. I went by the house having a contract on Saturday to get a couple more paperwork. And he told me that his new place comes with the washer and dryer, so you could have the wash. Because I know you when you were over there, you were giving him a hard time about leaving it.
I wanted to give him a hard time.
He said he even wrote TBD on the contract.
I did do that. Now, what do I want with a washer and dryer? I have no use for one. It's the game, man. It's the game.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it in there for the next 10
Yeah, and they were nice. So
yeah, they were nice units.
One more question here.
No more we got. We got a little bit of time.
Are you planning on providing training on how to set up your Facebook ads? I know we do it at the IPD in February. That will be part of it. I don't have any plans right now I guess make something in the future, but.
Well, you mean they need to set up their Facebook page before they can run the ads?
Yeah, you'll need to have at least a business page. And then from there, I'll give you a pro tip, man. I learned using ChatGPT. I'm telling you right now. It'll give you step-by-step directions on how to do it.
ChatGPT, that's the AI app. Download it, it's free. And of course, they got a paid version too. You play with that, you'll be amazed what that thing will do for you. Because that's the world we're in right now, whether we want to be or not, it's AI.
I don't want to go too far into that, but if you're not using AI on a daily basis right now in your business, you're going to be lapped very, very quickly in the near future. So,
and by the way, make a note. What is it? Implementation Power Days is why we call it IPD. It's in February. Call in our office, 800-567-6128, and they'll give you the information on it. And we have some special pricing going on it right now as well, especially if you're a master. I'll tell you right now, if you're a master watching this, you're going to get in for $500 a couple. And that's a steal. It's an absolute steal. Call in and get on the list because we're approaching quickly that 20 maximum. Why do I have 20 maximum entities? Because that's about all we can handle at one time with them working on their computers while we're working on ours. And because the room we're sitting in right now only holds about 40 people, and most of them are going to bring a guest. So that includes your guest.
all right.
Information Power Days.
Harry.
Implementation Power Days.
Ron, I bought and sold 97 properties in the last 3 years. And it's all because of you. I'm the real deal, but I couldn't have done it without you. Love you.
That's
From Harry Geo.
Oh, thank you. It was a kind words, Harry. You read exactly as I told you to read them. Thanks, Harry. Love hearing that.
Brad, do any of the Dreams filters identify HOA or COA delinquent payments or information? Yeah, it'll be under the lien section here.
But you
Liens.
got to do it one by one.
What's that?
You got to go through them one by one.
Well, it has a list of liens here. You can do a divorce.
You mean you can add them to your parameters?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Your
cool.
utility lien, tax government lien, mechanics lien, HOA lien, general lien, judgment, assignment of rents,
Oh my God.
divorce.
Keep this up. You got to pull a list of 10 and you probably buy 8 houses.
Yeah. One of my lists consists of all of these liens. I just put them all in one list. And
This thing is incredible, guys. It's going to get better.
So if you pay the $99 package, do we have to pay the whole $297 or do we just pay the balance to upgrade?
No, the $99 package is part of the $297.
Okay.
Yeah, you switch over and pay the balance.
Yeah. But
That's what we do.
depending on when you switch, yeah, probably prorate or something.
Yeah, it'll be prorated. So if if you're halfway through the month, then you'll get credit for the half of the payment that you have left.
You know
towards
what, Nick?
Great.
I forgot to tell them, crying out loud. Anybody that goes on there today and registers for the $299, you buy one, you get one. Buy the first month, we pay for the second month. That's going to last only while we're here.
Good deal.
That's news to me too, right?
Last question here. Do you think it's better to market to get your own leads or buy them from lead provider like LeadZolo?
You will not be buying any leads from any lead provider if you get Dreams Pro AI. You will not be doing it. Number one, you can't trust it. And you can trust what you pull up, not what you buy from other people. And incidentally, you don't buy them, you rent them. But even if you buy them, you can get better leads. In fact, you can get into the lead selling business here if you want to. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you afterwards. That was the last question there. But yeah, I would agree. We've bought in plenty. I'm sure you've bought in millions of dollars worth of leads, and I've bought in a lot too. And there's nothing better than having your own stuff here. You own the list, you control it.
Save a ton of money.
You can retarget the same list over and over again. So
think about the size of your list. You go out and you're mailing a couple of 1,000 pieces. That's going to cost you, God, I don't know. It depends on what you're mailing, but if you're mailing a letter, it's well over $2,000 per mailing. And the truth is about 950 of those people shouldn't have been mailed to. They need to be selected like we're doing here up front.
that was all the questions for today, and we're
Okay.
approaching 3
All right.
o'clock. So
Last chance. Anybody got another question? Type fast. If you haven't got it here, if you haven't called and got Dreams yet, you need to do it. Put that back up there for him. Take a picture of that when he puts it up there. I just learned some more stuff that's in there that I didn't think of. And by the way, there's no long-term contract. I didn't tell you though, if you don't have VAs now, you got to get into 297 level is a $500 setup for you one type, because that means you get your website and your dream system all set up. It's a lot of work. Put it up there straight, maybe.
I'm not a pro with this thing like you are. There we go. Is that better? I think that's
Not much.
well, I think it's going to get right there because they have the bottom thing on right there. That little banner.
Do I have to look at it crooked like that?
Is it crooked?
Yeah, there you go.
Better?
All right.
Well,
That's all we're gonna get anyway. Try to turn it sideways, see if it's any better. Turn it.
I need a lesson on this one.
Turn it to the straight. There you go.
Oh, well,
Back.
all right. All right. Have you considered doing a class on scraping for leads via the
A
county?
little more.
Valerie, question while he's getting
That's
that
good.
straight. Have you considered doing a class on scraping leads via the county? Well, disappeared, but county sites, I guess is what she was asking.
Well, that's what you're doing when we went in
Yeah.
and looked for tax delinquents.
Yeah, that's basically what this program's doing.
But here's the problem. Look, we're just trying to help you here. So pardon me if I get a little bit grouchy, because it's for the benefit of others. When you ask me a question like that, you're immediately always looking for the next shiny object. And I would encourage you folks to quit looking for the shiny objects. They just take away your focus from doing what little bit. If you just get this thing set up and come let me train you if you haven't already been to Quick Start School, and you'll leave with everything you need to do. And then by the time you get this thing set up, there's almost nothing for you to do, almost nothing. And instead of looking for something to replace everything that's already in the system, why don't we just spend that time using the system and focus on the less I do, the more I make. In fact, I've even got that book out on Amazon if you want to go read it, because that's what it's all about. Especially the men, they're always looking to change something. Always. The last thing they're going to do is follow instructions. I know I'm one of them, and I'm no different. But there's been an awful lot of years and an awful lot of money getting to this point to where you just got to plug and play and every day do something to move your business forward. And then, of course, you got to learn how to make the closing call and get out of the house and get the contract signed. That's not very hard to learn. Once you get that contract signed, the rest is very easy. Whether you're in the wholesale business or whether you're in the terms business, the rest is very easy. There is no house easier to sell than a junker at a reasonable junker price. The minimum I want you to make is $20,000 on one of them. In fact, I got some slides where he and I did 5 of them in 1 month and made 157 grand. Never bought a house. Yes, I teach that in Quick Start School. So our site is ronlegrand.com. Go see what we got for you. I mean, look, if you want to get in this business, we are the whole thing. And I am the OG.
Yes, sir.
That stands for what? Awfully good or something like that.
Original gangster.
Yeah. All right. So we got all the questions done?
There's actually a few more popped in if you
All right, go
want to
ahead.
take them. What's the difference between Dreams Pro and Ron's Deal Finder?
Ron's Deal Finder is part of Dreams Pro.
Yeah.
It's built right into it now. If you're still paying $300 for Ron's Dream Fire, just go sign up for the 297 level of this and you're getting it.
No, that's not true. It's the 697 level includes everything in the 200 the Ron Steel Finder, but the 297 level does not. I actually
I'm
have
using Ron's Deal Finder if I'm doing any mailing at
it's
all.
not telling you, it's got all those benefits. It has the premium leads, the extra lead types, the 17 different lead types, has 5 AI zip codes. So it's included. If you have the 697 level, you wouldn't want to also be paying for Ron Steel Finder.
Anyway,
but you can add it on to the 297 level.
If you're paying $300 a month, there's no need to if you get on this.
Yeah. Okay. Nick, there's a question for you about the 30-day trial. Does he need to call that 1-800 number to get that?
There's not a 30-day trial. There's a buy one, get one free. You get the second month free.
Okay.
You see, the problem with the 30-day trial is we've got to get all this set up for you. It's a lot of work. And that's why it costs $500 to get it set up. That's one-time fee.
All right.
And that's not applied to the 99 now. That applies to the 297.
Is this video going to disappear or can we be watching on YouTube?
So those of you who are watching who registered for this event and you're watching on Ring Central Events with us, when we end today, it's going to replay up until midnight tonight, and then it'll switch over to the video for tomorrow. For you guys who are watching on YouTube, if you look in that description, there's a link where you can register for this event, and that way you can participate and ask questions. So click that link. It's free to register for this event. Rather than watching on YouTube, you can join us here and participate, and then you'll be able to see the replay for each day up until midnight that night.
Cool. Okay. That was the last question.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you got a lot out of it. So we'll see you back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Bye.